Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Thursday, April the 8th, the year's 2021. Let's talk trading. Schizophrenic trading with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. Now, schizophrenic trading. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody because, this is a serious, thing that affects certain people. But I'm using it to describe some of what I see out there on the various forums and YouTube and, talking with traders. And schizophrenia is defined as a complex medical disease in which a person loses touch with reality or thinks or acts in illogical ways. A related term is schizo, an adjective that describes something or someone as being schizophrenic. And so I see some people when they show their charts, they've lost touch with reality, and some of what they do is just illogical. So so that's what we want to talk about. I don't know how many parts we'll have to this series, but it's also defined as a long-term mental disorder of a type involving a breakdown in the relation between thought, emotion, and behavior, leading to faulty perception, inappropriate actions and feelings, withdrawal from reality, and personal relationships in the fantasy and delusion, and a sense of mental fragmentation. Now, if you look at your chart and you look at your trading, and you can see how there might be a breakdown between, thought and your behavior and faulty perceptions and your inappropriate trading and withdrawal from reality, and basically delusion and, a sense of mental fragmentation. Because I was talking with Walmal earlier and I said, one of the things that I realized was we have different modes of operation. And yesterday I thought for sure he was going to bust my chops because I had called out the price at 84 because that was the H4 pivot. And of course, instead of me, staying in the trade and waiting for that pivot, that price to get hit, I popped out with a few pips and I must have left about 20 on the table. And so as you can see, I had the perception, or I had the mode, but because I was shifting modes, I'm looking at all this profit I could have if I'm in, say, long-term mode or price target mode versus being in scalper mode. Ooh, I'm up 2 pips. Ooh, I'm down a pip. Ooh, let me get out before the market takes it back. And that can lead to what I would call schizophrenic trading. What do you say, Walmal?
Well, the thing is, when you think about schizophrenia and you think about, again, a very, very serious disorder, most of us think about it from what we see in TV and what we see in movies and such, and we think about the person who's hearing voices and seeing, all types of visions and shadows and stuff. And I think that relates to trading to a certain extent, because what happens is we get into trades, and instead of following a plan, following a trading plan, we start hearing voices in our head, self-induced voices in our head. Oh, I got to go and save the money I got on the table. Let me get out now. Even though your trading plan says, nope, don't get out yet. It's not time to get out. Or, or better yet, I haven't been in a trade all day. I haven't had one come across the table. I haven't found anything where I can go make money. I've got to make money today. And I go and jump into a trade. I'm talking to myself. And, so you have those types of things going on. And one of the things about schizophrenia, that's absolutely true, is that it all starts from having a fixed or false belief. And those two factors, you have a false belief on something. So, I know the market's going to go to 3,800 and it's going to do it today. And I am going to go and take every trade into that direction, no matter what I see. And what is that? That may very well, it may happen, but it also may very well be a false belief. And I've fixated on it and I'm stuck in it. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do in order to go and make sure that my vision actually comes to pass. And that gets you into a lot of trouble. I find myself, I do that, and it really, really can clobber you sometimes, You know, and then the next thing that really falls out of that is that then the next thing you know, when things don't go your way, then you have suspicion. You know, those darn brokers, what are they doing to me now? And you distrust them, and you distrust your method, and you start changing methods up. So I'm no longer going to use the method that got me there so far, and I start looking for other ways to enter trades. Start, you know, as you like to say, you start manufacturing trades on the fly. You know, and it gets you into so much trouble. That's when you say schizophrenic trading, that's what I think of, is all those different factors that come about.
Yep, that pretty much nails it. And in fact, I even did it again today, where we were trading when price was down around, it was between 30 and 40, and I remember it was at 37, and then I look back, and I go, well, you know, on the 15-minute chart, I remember seeing an order block down here, and it's like, well, geez, you know, price needs to come out of this order block, and at the time there was an imbalance right here. I'm showing on the chart, on that big down bearish candle on the 15-minute chart, and instead of me just entering the trade and leaving it alone, oh no, I had to take my 0.5, you know, or 4 points, whatever I got, because price had backed up and then went up and then backed up again. So it was like, and then of course I didn't re-enter when I had the chance on this next 15-minute candle when it came down to 41, and it took off. And once again, it's partially because, you know, of that switching modes. And then Walmal, you said there was a quote that you liked about not beating yourself up, because that'll only lead to your detriment. It won't benefit you.
Yeah, and I don't remember the exact quote, but I paraphrase things because it makes it easier for me to memorize and remember.
I thought I found that quote for you.
You did, and I don't have that window open, sorry. but essentially, I paraphrased that quote as, basically, don't beat yourself up for what the market does. The market's going to do what the market does, you know. And don't beat yourself up for what the market does, and don't beat yourself up for what you didn't do. You know, and it's so true. You know, the market's going to do what the market's going to do. Don't blame the market. Don't blame, you know, all these outside factors that you can't go and control. No, you just get better from it, and you look and you watch and you become more intimate. I like saying intimate with your charts, meaning that, you know, hey, I've seen this pattern before, because these things happen day in and day out every day, you know, and you start to recognize, I don't know, you know what, that my trading plan says to go and enter here, but I'm just not going to do it. And, you know, and over time you get better at that, you know, and the thing is, we know statistically, if you just go and enter the trades, you'll still be okay, you know, but the thing is, if I can make myself better, because I've now recognized some things, and maybe those things that I recognize, can I articulate that in such a way that I can now write a tool around it, you know, and continue to use that and actually make myself even a better trader. And that's what that's what my goal is with everything, is to go and just constantly be going and refining what I'm doing. You know, if you look at my I don't think I've ever published my original Walmal plan, you know, and look at it now, you know, it's the core of it's exactly the same, but there are some things in it that I've refined to make myself a better trader, you know, and I've refined in order to go and grab a little bit more pips. I've refined it to go and keep myself out of some trades, and, you know, that's what you have to do as a trader. Refine yourself as you get and understand things, go and put those things in place, but don't go and beat yourself up on things. There's always that, you know, another famous quote, I don't remember who said it, but I've never learned anything from success. And there's so much truth to that. You know, most of us learn by failures, and we become great, you know, from those failures.
Right. I found the quote. It's, I never lose my temper over the stock market. I never argue the tape. Getting sore at the market doesn't get you anywhere.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and then the quote that hits home with me is, they say you can never go poor taking profits. No, you don't. But neither do you grow rich taking a 4-point profit in a bull market where I should have made 20,000, I made 2,000. That was what my conservatism did for me.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of truth to that too. I like that as well. My only thing is that with and I know you used to say this a lot, probably going back 10 years on this, but I know in your videos from that far back, you used to go and say all the time, get used to making small profits so that you're ready to make larger profits.
Right.
And that's part of that. If you're not ready to go and hold out a trade for 20 pips, then maybe you're just not ready to do that. But maybe that's your goal. Maybe you write down a goal for this year is that I'm going to go, instead of trying to take 2-3 pips on the trade, my goal is to go and get 5 pips or 10 pips. What is that going to require? Well, it's going to require a couple of things. It's going to require some patience on your part. And then the second thing that it's going to require is for you to go and read the market a little bit better. Because, a lot of times you can get 3 pips and get out of the trade, and then it turns around, and if you would have stayed, you would have gotten slaughtered. So you got to go and be able to read the market better. So there's, that quote is, it's a double-edged sword there. You got to remember, yeah, absolutely. But to get to that 20,000, I also got to remember I got to read the market better, take my, and be willing to go and maybe take a little bit of drawdown before I get those profits. Maybe I got to go and actually have a little bit bigger account size so I can take those drawdowns. And most definitely, I need to be able to read the market and say, that's a trade I'm not going to take. Yes, all these parameters got met, but there's something about this trade that I just don't like. And sometimes for me, anyway, is that it's instinctive. But at the same time, you always beat me up on this, and that is that, with Deming, what he said, that, you have to be able to go and take what you're doing, the system that you're doing, and write it down in 2 sentences or 3 sentences. I forget that quote exactly, but I take that to home. And it's like, yeah, that's how you get better. You go and take something that may be even complex and take it and put it into a methodology that you're able to follow. And not only that, you can teach others to follow.
Exactly. In other words, if you can't explain what you're doing as a process, then you don't know what you're doing. That's the quote.
You may even be and the thing is, you may even be successful not knowing what you're doing. That's a possibility. But the thing is, you can't get any better, at what you're doing until you understand what you're doing, because you don't. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to make changes, and it's going to be random changes, and those changes may make you better, or they may make you worse. Whereas if you understand what you're doing, you got a center line to go back to.
Exactly. And we're in the launch pad, right?
Yes, I do. I see that we're sitting here, basically 45, 46, and I know that you love to go and take those longs there, but I have to wait for a signal to come through. But
right,
which I don't have at this moment in time. Actually, I do. I was on a 15-minute chart. So talking here, we talked about TSR trades in the past, but a good entry would have been off of 44. It would have been a really nice entry to take that long right there, and you could have gotten out with 2.5 pips, or you could stay and wait for this candle to close and see what it does. But again, that all comes down to your trading plan, and don't be schizophrenic. Write down a trading plan, figure out what you're going to do. And I was in a trade earlier from that launch out of the 40, and I got out. And if you recall, Tiro, that I said I got out, and I think I got out with like 4 pips or 5 pips, something like that. And I was happy, even though the thing skyrocketed all the way up to 60, and I was completely content with that. And the reason why I was content was because I traded my plan and I got out when I was supposed to get out. That's success to me. Other people's success is, getting those 20 or 30 pip runs. But that's not my trading plan. My success is to go in and follow my plan, and maybe sometimes I'll get 10 pips or 15 pips. But if I get 3 pips and I only get 3 pips, but I follow the plan, I'm happy. Happy as a lark.
Yeah. Well, I'm not happy because the fastest 15 minutes of trading is up again. So we'll definitely be revisiting this subject because there's plenty of quotes we can discuss. And, there's just plenty of things that we do that are schizophrenic when it comes to trading, and we just have to eliminate that. So hopefully, traders, that helps you. So when you sit down at your trading screen, your trading platform, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So drain the banks. This is the Rumpled